Okay, today we are going to be installing the SULASTIC shackles. This should be pretty interesting because all you see online are one of two opinions about these things. Basically everyone says that they really improve the ride. Half of the people will say, you know, I've had them on the truck for 3 years and they've been perfect. And then the other half say that they just broke within a year, and then they got a replacement under warranty, and then that one broke in like 6 months. So I don't know what to expect from these. Pretty sure they'll help the ride, because I haven't really seen many people say that they don't. Plan is you never see people who make videos on these things show before and after in the ride. So that's the plan here. Saturday morning, gonna go get a coffee. I have to get a socket for the shackle bolt. I mean, I have a 24. It's a 24. I think that's all you need. You might need to take off the rear shocks. I don't know. You need a 24 for the shackle bolts. You get new bolts. I think those are 24 as well. I need a short. I only have a deep 24 socket. I need a short one because I'm guessing my impact is not going to fit back there with the deep socket. It probably won't fit even with the shallow one. You know, I can already see that happening. But we're being optimistic. I'm going to go to Autozone. And it just so happens that the road that I have to take to get to AutoZone is horrible. So it's going to be a good test to see how much better it gets. For now, we're going to get some coffee. Yeah, so this was the next thing that I was thinking about doing to this truck is the SULASTIC shackles. It's probably everyone's #1 complaint with Super Duties, I would imagine, is how bad they ride empty. We'll see. I mean, if it improves the ride as much as people say, I'd be fine, you know, putting a new one in there every 1.5 to 2 years. They're not cheap. I think it was like $550 for the set. Oh, thank you. We got the socket. Let's see if we can't find some rough roads. Shackle. What the hell was that? We got some bumps here. I'll just put this side by side when we're done. See what it looks like. So we're gonna go look up the torque spec and we'll get after it. That should be fine. So, first step of the whole process, get these shocks disconnected at the bottom. So if I remember correctly, yeah, it's 18. Put this back so we don't lose it. Oh. All right. Oh. Okay, so if you wanted to keep the wheels on, you have to jack this thing up a ton so that they can drop down. What I'm probably gonna have to do here is take these suckers off so that the axle can come down a little more. I think I'd rather do that than jack it all the way up. All right, wheels are off. That means we can bring her down, get enough slack to start working on those guys. When you get these things, you notice they're labeled, so you gotta put them on the right side. We're gonna start on the passenger side. So we'll get the passenger one out once we get the stock one off, but you're gonna need an Allen key, 3/8 for the back of these new bolts. You get 2 new bolts for the top. You reuse the bottom one. And you get a bunch of these washers. Whenever I see people putting these on, they get a bunch of small washers. I just got this big fat washer. So if you get these now, you might be getting these big fat washers. Get you a good view up here. All right, we're gonna do the top one first. 24 up top, and you'll need a 21 to hold in the back. Easier said than done. See if that got us a better spot. Okay. Okay. So, one thing you're gonna notice is that bolt has to come out this way, right? It's gonna hit the frame there. So what you have to do is jack your axle up a little bit to get this to move up there, so you can go ahead and slide it out in that little space right there. We're gonna have to take this off first for it to move. So you don't need a wrench on the back of this one. It says like a little bracket thing. Okay. Got the little bracket off the back. So we have to wiggle this guy out. Oh, easy peasy. Now we can go ahead and jack it up. Let's see. Still need a little more. Okay, no, just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, bolt. And then, this guy. You can see we got our stock one, the top bolt and nut we are not going to be using. Bottom one we do reuse. Now we could go get our new shit. And what you're gonna want to do, ow. Yeah, so first things first, slice your hand open with the staples that are on this bag, but we gotta make these the same distance. And you know what, it looks like it is the right distance. So now we just get these guys to be the same. I'm guessing, yeah. Yep, so we need one of these big fat washers on the bottom. All the videos I've seen, you need washers on the top. But we're the exact same distance here with this one. So I guess they just weld in a washer for you now. That's cool. So let's try getting it in there. We're just gonna do the reverse. Gonna do the top first since we're already jacked up. On the top, we use our new bolt and Allen key thing. Oh, jeez. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. All right, the camera died again. This camera, I swear, it does not last long, but we eventually, we got this stuff in. Really, we had to bang this fat fucking washer. I kind of wish they just gave me a bunch of these, like I see other people get. But this fat guy, there's like barely room in there for it. So, I really had to bang it in there. I'll take video of this side so you can see the whole thing, start to finish. So first you get the bottom bolt off. so that this can move freely. And then you can loosen this up, but you're gonna have to raise the axle enough for that bolt to be able to, let's see if you can, to clear up here. You need to clear the frame so you can push it into that space between the bed and the frame. Right now you can see if you try and get that bolt out, it's just gonna hit the frame. So we are gonna get this bolt out right here. There's a 24. Watch out. Oh, okay. Now, we can get that top bolt off. Getting a sneak, a 21mm wrench in the back. Oh. Oh, there we go. We're on there. Oh, you start raising this. Okay. Got that off. Now, see if we've got just a little bit more. Okay, get your new stuff and just double check, because on the passenger side, you know, all we needed was this on the bottom. But go ahead and double check that. Yep, we need that on the bottom, and you don't need any washers on the top again. Getting that top one in is a pain in the ass. I will say that. Okay. Just get it up in there. I'm gonna use this to just hold that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now comes the annoying part. Yeah, let's just see. Let's see if we can just. Nope. Okay. So at least to start, you gotta sneak this in back here, which you can't freaking see. You can't get your hands in there. Man. This is easily the worst part of this whole thing. Why did they decide to use a freaking Allen key on the back of this bolt? Oh, okay. We're in there. Now, let's see. Yeah, it's a little too tight. Okay. You want to get it just to the point where it'll stick, but it can still move. That's gonna make the second part a lot easier. Ow! Just a tiny bit more. Yeah, there we go. Get your Allen key. Now, you want to lower the axle until just before the holes start to line up, and I'll show you why. Okay, so now you've got to sneak this big behemoth washer in here. I'll show you what I did. The other side, it wouldn't go in after I'd lowered this into position. So I got an Allen key on the other side of this. And then we're gonna hold that washer so it's all lined up as we drop the axle and hopefully push this into position. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was way too much. Oh. Okay. So, this is... Well, didn't go according to plan, but let's just see if it's lining up. Okay. There's almost no chance the washer's lined up. Yeah. Let's see if we can get in there now. Try and pry it up. Oh, there we go. So, I think we're almost there. There we go. Okay. So now, I got that banged in there. We just have to get this little thing on this side and start to tighten that. Okay, now you do not, he's kind of getting beat up. You don't want to tighten this all the way until you get it back on the ground. But this, this was not super tight. I'm gonna go and loosen this one a little bit because I think I kind of got carried away and freaking tightened the shit out of him. Yeah. Good enough. Good enough. We just need to be able to spin. Now, we're gonna put the wheels back on. All right, that's the wheels. Now you gotta get those shocks on and lower it to the ground. Yeah, I probably should have put those in while it was jacked up so I could lower the axle to get it in place, but whatever. Here we are. Where's my impact? Oh. Get these in here somehow, and when I put them in at first, these bushings were very oversized, so yeah, we'll see. Okay, a lot better this time. There we go. Nice and easy. Impact 18. Wrench. Okay. We gotta torque that later. We gotta torque a lot of stuff. So get this one in. Ugh. Okay, shocks in. Now that we're on the ground, everything's sort of in its settled position, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this stuff up a little bit. Good. Torque this guy up. Oh, we'll go do the other side, and then we gotta get our big old torque wrench in here, get this all down to 130 foot-pounds. Ugh. Okay, let's torque them down. Ugh. Oh. 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 So, everything is torqued. Oh, geez. So, yeah, we'll get everything else torqued and then ready for a test drive. Oh, no barking, no barking. Hey, 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 I'll torque you. I'll torque you. Yeah, I'll torque you. Oh, he's a sweet boy. Oh, he's a sweet boy. What is that, 21 on the back? Yeah. Oh, we are all torqued. Ready to go. Okay, Sunday morning. As you can see, shackles are in there. Did not take her for a test drive yesterday because, to be honest, I was really fucking tired. I always seem to choose the hottest freaking days to work on this thing. So I was sweating my ass off, like 95. So, first test drive. Okay. We're gonna take the same drive, see how these shackles do. Yeah, it's not like we've hit any kind of rough terrain yet, but I can kind of feel it. You know, it's like, yeah, you're not feeling all of those little tiny bumps anymore. Let's just roll down the windows and see if we hear anything sus. Not hearing anything, so it's good. I don't know how you could fuck it up. It's a pretty simple job. Feeling pretty good. You know, this road definitely was a little shaky on the factory shackles. You definitely tell. You know, a lot of the smaller imperfections in the road, you don't feel them nearly as much anymore. Let's say this, I've been so used to driving this thing, riding like an ox cart, that I don't know if I would notice them anyways. So the real test will be the road to Autozone. While I was under there, I went and checked everything else from the lift kit. Everything's still good from that, so I don't know what that weird noise was that I heard yesterday. No lights popped up. The truck isn't crying about anything. So it is what it is. Maybe something on the road just got kicked up. I gotta say, I don't know what to do about this camera. It just... I mean, I know I complain about the heat out there when I'm working on the truck. But this thing, I mean, if I put it in the sun, it overheats. It says I'm not working anymore. I'm too hot, and it just turns off in like 10 minutes. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. You want some? Whoa. There's the 37s coming into play, huh? Yeah. You want some coffee with your milk? Good one. And here we go. To be honest, this road's not that bad. The real test will be when we come back. But I mean, so far, they feel good. It's definitely noticeable. The main difference is in like the rebound. When you go over a big bump, there's a lot less hop and shake. It's not like your truck is having a seizure after you hit a big bump anymore. So far, I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy with it. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but so far, I'm really liking these things. And I think they're worth it. Yeah, I will say, $550. If it's the first thing you're doing to your truck, I'd probably say skip these and go for better shocks. Maybe bigger tires too before you even think about putting these on. The road that we're about to hit is definitely a lot worse. But I'm gonna say I'm happy. I'm gonna say it was worth it. I'm definitely noticing stuff in the truck shaking around a lot less. And there's like a key. It's like a physical key for your glove box. Okay. The under seat. So we got some bumps here. I dropped it under. I'll just put this side by side. So that shake around like crazy, make a ton of noise. I'm not hearing it right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see if I can put the videos side by side, see if there's any kind of difference. Ram, what do you guys think about Rams? I was actually thinking about, you know, when I was looking at this truck, I knew I wanted a diesel just because I think they're cool. So, you know, I was looking GMC/Chevy versus Ford versus Ram. It was the 2024 models I was looking at, and Ford was like ripping a ton of stuff out of the 24 for the 25, at least for the Lariat. So the 24 seemed like a really good deal, and there was like a lull in sales, so dealerships were running all kinds of deals. I found this one in Texas, and they had it like 15,000 off MSRP. So with that in mind, I was looking at the expected, you know, maintenance costs. Chevy and Ford, the GMC/Chevy and Ford were like neck and neck, but the Ram was like 15,000 more over 10 years. So they're like 20,000 more. It was something crazy. And it said like, you know, 75% expected major repairs. And it's because they just blow transmissions like crazy. So that was, the Ram was really the one I was looking at, opposed to this. I think if they didn't use transmissions like toilet paper, I may have gone with the Ram. And I expected the Ram or the Chevy to be quite a bit cheaper, but you know, honestly, this Ford that I found was just such a good deal. Okay. Okay, so big bumps here, definitely better. Right here, right now in the driver's seat, I can tell you noticeable improvement for sure. I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's night and day. I think a lot of people overstate how much these things do. you haven't done anything to the suspension and you're thinking about putting these in, I would take that money and put it towards better shocks for sure. Bigger tires will probably help more. But once you get to the point where the main culprit is the rear end shaking around because of those stiff-ass leaf springs. These are great. Definitely an improvement. You still, I mean, still not riding like a Cadillac, but definitely better. I think it's in a nice place right now. For me, for sure, worth it. I would say. Those big bumps for sure. I'll try and get it on video. I'll try and get it to translate. See if I can do anything about that. But before you go over a big bump, you hit the bump on the front tires, you feel it. You hit it on the back tires, you feel it. But then your back tire, your back end starts bouncing around because of the leaf springs rebounding. That's almost entirely gone with these. So yeah, it's noticeable. For me, I think I'm gonna say worth it. I'm happy that I went and did this. But again, I don't want to mislead anybody, give the impression, you know, some clickbait. Am I driving a Super Duty anymore? No, it's not really, you know, I'm not blown away. Not blown away at all. Socks are still on. I mean, it still rides like a big ass truck with stiff ass leaf springs that's meant to tow 20,000 pounds. But I didn't really expect too much anyways. If you just think about it, it's just a tiny little bit of travel that these things add in the shackles, and your shackles already move. You know, I mean, they are just a solid piece of metal pretty much, but they flex, and they do pretty much the same thing that these do. These are just a lot softer. I think the big benefit to these is it does help with the leaf springs, but unlike some other things that you might do to have the same effect, like for example, if you just wanted a soft as possible ride, you would just want to go and get softer leaf springs, like progressive leaf spring packs, and replace those, because that's going to do a lot more than this does. The downside is, for the most part, anything like that is going to hurt your payload, and you're going to be able to tow less. That's the big benefit to these, is that they don't affect your payload at all. That's the big pro for these, is you can get a softer ride without sacrificing anything really. The negative is you're relying on vulcanized rubber to handle all of the violence back there. You know, I'm not really sure. I'm not a material scientist. I don't know how reasonable it is to expect that to hold up. But the big downside is it's $550, and there are a lot of people who say that they just fall apart on you. In every video or post I've seen where people are talking about that, the rubber looks like it just dry rots. So I'm guessing that it really depends, like whether you get the experience of they last forever and they're sick, or they just break instantly. It's going to depend on where you live and the climate, and whether or not rubber dry rots where you live. And on that note, I have been, in my follow-up video, I'll probably touch on this, but I've been thinking about doing some research to figure out if there's anything you can kind of slather on the outside, like the exposed face of the rubber, to prevent dry rotting. Because I know for weather stripping, specifically on cars and trucks where you can take the top off and there's weather stripping that's going to be exposed a lot, they sell silicone grease or something that you rub on the weather stripping. It supposedly keeps it from losing the pliability and it keeps it from dry rotting. So I'm thinking about looking around to see if there's anything like that I could put on these, because if they last, it's for sure worth it. But overall, after the test drive, I would say if you've already done work on the truck and you're just, you have $500 sitting around and you want to take a couple hours putting something on your truck, go for it. You'll be pretty happy. If you hate how it rides and you haven't done much of anything, take that money, get shocks. Get if you don't tow a lot, or if you tow and you don't ever need to tow something that is right up there at the top end of your payload, get some progressive leaf springs. That'll probably be a much better improvement, and it might even be a better bang for your buck than these things. But yeah, if you're just looking for a little improvement, you want to take all that back end shake out, give these a try. Like I said, I'm happy with them. It didn't take too long. It wasn't that much of a pain in the ass. A couple hours on a Saturday and they're in there. All right. Oh, let's get you guys. So I would say pretty good success. Worth it in my opinion for me. Oh, hold my coffee. Yeah, I mean, I think that went pretty well. Definitely didn't turn into as much of a nightmare as the lift kit did. Make sure it still looks good. Okay, as you can see, my paint lines are still lining up. Looks like we're still sitting in the same kind of spot we were. We'll see if the other side looks the same. Oh. Yeah. Shocks are still torqued. Okay. It's nice. It's nice getting the lift on first. First thing I did to the truck, because getting under there is a lot easier now. Ample room for activities under there. Okay. That's the SULASTIC shackles in. Done. Pretty cool. I like them. We'll have to see how they hold up. I will definitely make a follow-up video, and if I find anything you can smear in there to try and make them last a little longer. But thanks for watching. Hopefully if you're thinking about doing this to your truck, this gives you a little more information to go off of, whether it's gonna be worth it for you. And if you decide it is, then hopefully this video helps you figure out how to put them in if you don't have a fancy lift and you just gotta jack it up. And also showing the, I guess, the newer version with the big fat washers, because when I opened these up, that sort of threw me for a loop. And I saw these big honking washers. And I was a little confused. I was like, well, how does this work? Usually you just get a bunch of tiny washers, you gotta stack them up. Oh, yeah. Oh, also, the models. Because one of the hardest parts is figuring out, the website's a little trash. So it's hard to figure out, what freaking model do I actually need to buy. So I got the SA06 HDF. If you have a Super Duty, a newer one, I mean, the leaf springs on the Super Duties have not changed in like 100 years. So I'm pretty sure this will fit any fucking Super Duty you have. But for the newer ones, I know they all have the shackles below. I'm not getting under here again, but they all have the shackles below the leaf springs. So that's going to be your SA model. The 06, I think that's just the iteration, I guess. It's probably for the newer Super Duties. And then the F is Ford. The F is Ford. They make them for Ram and Chevy. I mean, you see on this little graphic here, they got them for Ford, GMC, Chevy, Ram, Hummers. That's crazy. Toyota's, Nissan. So I guess no matter what truck you have, they've got something for you. But they have the SA06F. And then they have like SA06 HDF. And then SA06 like HDDF, like double heavy duty. It told me the HD was the one for me. And I'm guessing the double heavy duty one is for your like F450s, F550s maybe. I'm not sure what the regular F is. So I hope that guy didn't put like 150 shackles on his 250, but just get the right one, slap it on your truck, and you'll get a little bit of an improvement. Thanks for watching. Maybe like the video if you liked it. If you didn't, don't like it. Subscribe if you want to see anything else I do to this truck. I'm thinking about, well, I'm gonna wrap the chrome. I'm gonna do something about this big old chrome badge. I might mess around with the lights. I kind of want to. I'm not gonna get new ones because, oh my gosh, if you look at aftermarket like LED lights, headlights for these things, it's like $4,000. Crazy. But I think I might, if I have a bunch of time on my hands, take these apart and try and like smoke them out like you see on some of the aftermarket ones. Might try and do that. And I was thinking about trying to make my own badges here, because I've seen some videos on like molding carbon fiber, like forged carbon fiber parts. I think that'd be pretty cool to give that a shot. So yeah, Subscribe if you want to see any of that garbage.